In this video, we'll be talking about factorials. For better understanding of factorials, we have to understand factorial symbol, which is this. And in English language, it's known as exclamation mark, but in mathematics, it's known as factorial. Factorial, some people call it factorial symbols, but it's known widely as factorial. And in English language, it's known as exclamation mark. So now, let's take in some examples for better understanding. So once we asked to evaluate 3 factorial, for instance, we will start by saying, by multiplying every numbers that comes before 3. Mathematically, we are reading or reciting 1, 2, 3, say 1, 2, then 3. So every number that comes before 3, but here it will be backwards. You start from 3 multiplied by 2, then multiply by 1, which will be 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1 give us 6. I hope you understand. So let's take in another one. We have 4 factorials here. So every number that comes before 4, and that will be, but this time it will be backwards. We'll start from 4. Every number that comes before 4, that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we start from 4, then goes backwards. That is 4 multiplied by 3, multiplied by 2, then multiplied by 1. Which should be 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. 12 multiplied by 2, 24. 24 multiplied by 1 is still 24. Now let's take in for 5 factorials. So every number that comes before 5, including 5. So but we start from 5 and goes backwards. That is 5 multiplied by 4, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 2, then multiplied by 1, which should be 5 multiplied by 4, 20, 20 multiplied by 3, 60, 60 multiplied by 2, 120, 120 multiplied by 1, still gives us 120. So that is the principle and logic behind factorial. So we have some questions we want to solve and drill. So number 1, we asked to evaluate 8 factorial over 3 factorial. So before I proceed with this, there's something else I want to say. If we ask given 0 factorial, mathematically 0 factorial is 1. When you put it in your calculator, 0 factorial will give you 1. Mathematically, it's 1. I would say it's like a constant. 0 factorial is 1 mathematically. So now let's proceed with our questions. 8 factorial over 3 factorial. That will be what? We're starting from 8 to backwards. Every number that comes before 8, but this time around it is backwards, and we'll multiply them together. That is 8 multiplied by 7, multiplied by 6, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 4, multiplied by 3, then multiplied by 2, multiplied by 1. All over 3 factorial. Every number that comes before 3, including 3, but this time around backward. So this is 3 multiplied by 2, then multiplied by 1. But there's something similar here. 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, and 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. We'll divide them out. Even though we leave them and multiply everything together, we'll still divide them out. So for easier way of solving, we divide them out. So this is 3 divided by 3, 2 divided by 2, 1 divided by 1. Then we'll work with only this. So we have 8 multiplied by 7, multiplied by 6, multiplied by 5, then multiplied by 4. 8 multiplied by 6, multiplied by 7, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 4. That will be 6,720. So this is our answer. So let's proceed by taking 2 or 3 more questions. Number 2, we're asked to evaluate 3 factorial all over 0 factorial. So 3 factorial over 0, so pick 3 backwards. 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1 over 0 factorial mathematically is what? Is 1. So you can say 1 divided by 1, and that will be left with 3 multiplied by 2. Then our answer will be 6. Let's take in 2 more questions. Number 3, we're asked to evaluate 7 minus 2 factorial. So 7 minus 2 factorial in the bracket. 7 minus 2 gives us 5 factorial. Then we open our brackets, then it is 5 factorial. 5 factorial backwards, we should say 5 multiplied by 4, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 2, then multiplied by 1. 5 multiplied by 4, 20. 20 multiplied by 3, 60. 60 multiplied by 2, 120. 120 multiplied by 1, 120. Our final answer. Let's take one more question. Number 4, we asked to evaluate 5 factorial over 5 minus 2 factorial 2 factorial. This looks a bit complicated. Then we have 5 factorial. Before we extend this, we balance this. Then 5 minus 2 gives us 3 factorial, then 2 factorial, which will be 5 factorial. We open the bracket. Then we have 3 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial. So proceed by saying 5 now backwards, multiplied by 4, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 2, then multiplied by 1, all over 3 multiplied by 2, multiplied by 1, then we have 2 multiplied by 1. Then we have 2 multiplied by 1. So we'll start by saying, look for what is similar here. Here we have 3 cancels this, 2 cancels this, and 1 cancels this. So now we're left with 5 multiplied by 4 over 2 multiplied by 1. Understand? 5 multiplied by 4 gives us what? 20. 2 multiplied by 1 gives us 2. Then 20 divided by 2 gives us 10, which is our final answer. I hope you understand. Thank you very much.